You've probably heard your whole life that geckos are dangerous. Maybe someone told you they're poisonous, that they can drop into your food and make you sick, or that you should kill one on sight before it infests your home. If you've ever grabbed a shoe, rolled up a magazine, or bolted out of the room screaming at the sight of that small silhouette frozen on your kitchen ceiling, you're not alone. Almost everyone grows up with that same instinct. But what you're about to learn is going to completely change the way you look at that little creature. Because the animal you feared, the one you might have killed without a second thought, isn't the villain of this story. It's the opposite. That small pair of eyes watching you from the ceiling while you sleep belongs to your home's most loyal, most silent protector. And once you find out what it's actually doing every night, you'll never see it the same way again. Here's the first shock. The gecko living in your house isn't some random reptile that wandered in by accident. The common house gecko is a species that literally evolved to live alongside humans. For centuries, it hitched rides on trading ships, followed human settlements across continents, and built colonies in cities long before most modern civilizations existed. It didn't invade your home. It was born to live there. Now let's kill the poison myth for good. Scientifically speaking, none of the common house gecko species found across the United States, or most of the world, produce venom capable of harming a human being. None. The fear you feel is a hand-me-down, passed down for generations with zero biological basis. Even if a gecko walks across your food, it poses no real health risk to you whatsoever. But the real plot twist is hiding in its eyes. Ever notice it never blinks? That's because geckos don't have movable eyelids like we do. Instead, they lick their own eyeballs clean with their tongue. And that tail it drops the moment you try to grab it? That's not an accident. It's called autotomy, a survival mechanism perfected over millions of years of evolution. When a predator strikes, the gecko sacrifices part of its own body on purpose. The severed tail keeps twitching on the ground, distracting the attacker just long enough for the gecko to escape. It looks fragile, but it's actually a surgical precision survival machine. Now forget the image of a small, harmless creature frozen on your ceiling. The same gecko that sleeps all day transforms at night into a silent security system, stationed exactly where you need it most. Around your lights, your windows, every entry point insects use to get inside. Picture the scene. Night falls. The porch light flicks on. Within seconds, mosquitoes, moths, and small insects start swarming the glow. That's the exact moment the guardian goes to work. The gecko positions itself just inches from the light source, completely motionless, like a sniper waiting for the perfect shot. It doesn't move a muscle. It waits. The instant an insect gets close enough, the gecko strikes in a fraction of a second, faster than the human eye can even process. The bite is precise, silent, over before it begins. In a single night, one adult gecko can eat dozens of insects: mosquitoes, small roaches, flying termites, moths, winged ants. Every flying insect drawn to the light outside your house is potential prey for this invisible architect of pest control. But the hunting itself isn't even the most impressive part. It's the strategy. The gecko picks its hunting spots based on generations of pure instinct. Cracks in the wall, gaps near windows, spots close to outdoor lights, exactly the routes insects use to get inside. It knows the layout of your house better than you do. Without you ever realizing it, it has already mapped out every weak point where pests could break in. And there's an even stranger behavior worth knowing. When some gecko species face a much bigger threat, like a large spider or even a small snake, they'll puff up their body, open their mouth wide, and let out sharp clicking or chirping sounds, a warning display meant to intimidate something many times their size. It doesn't always retreat. Sometimes it stands its ground. While you're watching TV, sleeping, or working, that small reptile is running a one-creature pest control operation inside your own home. pests that, left unchecked, would multiply fast and take over. Now picture the opposite scenario. You finally got rid of every gecko in your house. Nothing left on the ceiling, nothing left on the porch. Total silence. It feels like a win. But this is exactly where the nightmare begins. Without its natural predator keeping the insect population in check, mosquito numbers around your house start climbing fast, unchecked. More mosquitoes means a higher risk of mosquito-borne illness in your own backyard. Small roaches that would normally get hunted down before they matured now have a real shot at reaching adulthood and reproducing inside your walls. Moths that chew through clothes and books multiply out of control. Flying termites, drawn straight to your porch light, find a clear path to settle into your home's wooden structures. You removed a guardian, and without even realizing it, you opened the door to a chain reaction of biological imbalance inside your own home. Getting rid of the gecko doesn't create a cleaner environment. It creates an ecological vacuum, and nature hates a vacuum. Something always moves in to fill that gap, and it's almost never something better than what you had. Research on pest control in warmer climates has shown that small reptiles like geckos significantly reduce flying insect density in urban and residential areas, functioning as a completely natural, silent, and free pest control system. So let's recap the truth. The gecko you feared isn't poisonous. It's not a pest. It didn't bring bad luck into your home. It's actually a species that evolved alongside humanity to perform one of the most valuable, most overlooked jobs in your entire household ecosystem: silent, free, non-stop pest control. It hunts through the night while you sleep. It maps every weak point in your home. It stands its ground against threats many times its size when it has to. And it does all of that asking for nothing in return except a small spot on your ceiling and the glow of your porch light. Next time you spot that small silhouette sitting still, watching you quietly from above, maybe you'll feel something different than fear. Maybe it'll be gratitude. Because while you were thinking about how to get it out of your house, it was already there, protecting corners you never even knew needed protecting. If this video changed the way you see that small, invisible guardian, hit like and subscribe to the channel. There are plenty more biological mysteries hiding right in your own backyard, waiting to be uncovered.